So we've got the story map, which is pretty nice. Now how do we tell the tool that we want these stories to be executed? Well, in toolsforagile.com we support various team boards. So we support Scrum boards and we support Kanban boards. So you can use these boards to actually execute the stories that have been created on the story map. So I've gone ahead and created a Kanban board for a team called Team Alpha, and let's assume that this is the team that's going to be executing the stories for this project. So first I need to go into settings, and then inside the settings I go into manage boards, and this is where I can set whether any boards are going to be involved with this story map. So I say Team Alpha is added to the story map. Now if I go to the story tree, what I can do is I can select various stories and move the stories from story map and copy it over to the backlog of the team board. Now what I want to do is copy out all the release 1 stories. I can either individually select. So you see here Team Alpha has come as an option. So I can say that, okay, take the story and put it on the backlog of Team Alpha. So on the top you can see Team Alpha. I can either individually select stories, or I can go up to a parent which will copy of all the child stories, and this is the final story in release 1. So what I've done here is I've selected a bunch of stories and copied them over into the team board. So you can easily see which are the stories which are on the team board, because the top of the story card highlights which team board they're on. Okay, now that I've moved them to a board, I can now go into the backlog management of my team. So this is the Team Alpha board, and I go to the ice box. So you can see here all our stories which were on our story map, which we have moved to this board, are all available here. You can see all the tags that we applied on the card in the story map are copied over to the backlog here on the team board. So you can see, for example, checkout by credit card is a market risk. It's for release 1, and these are for release 2. Okay, so what I want to do now is just take out these 4 stories which are meant for release 1, yeah, and move them into the backlog. So I've taken out just these 4 stories, release 1 stories. So there you see, this is our backlog. Let's go to the Kanban board. Now the Kanban board has got a whole lot of features which I'm not going to explore in this video, because we are focusing more on the story map here. And in this video I'm just moving it to a Kanban board. You can use the same thing to move it to a Scrum board if the team is doing Scrum. Anything is okay. Alright, so let's say the first thing we want to do is implement a basic home page. So I copy that over to the board. Then we want to do search for book by title. So I copy that over to the board. Then let's say someone starts working on the basic home page. So I drag and drop it to in progress. And so let's just freeze at this moment. We've got basic home page is in progress. Search for book title is not started, but it's on the board. And these 2, which are release 1, are still in the backlog. And then there are some features which we left in the icebox which we have not even moved to the backlog. So I'm going to go back to our little story map over here. Okay, and let's expand it and see. You can see that our tool actually starts synchronizing the status from the team board onto the story map. So view basic homepage, the status is in progress, and we can see the 4 release ones are marked as committed. So this one is committed, this one is committed, and the stories which are on the board but not yet started are marked as scheduled. So search for book by title is scheduled. These 2 stories are in the backlog. This one is in progress. These ones are not start. Okay, let's go back to our Kanban board and make a few more changes. So as you can see, the quick navigation over there allows us to quickly go between the board, the story maps, everything. So let's say our basic homepage is done, and search for book by title is here. This one is done as well. Checkout by credit card, add book to shopping cart, and checkout by credit card are in progress. So these 2 are in progress, these 2 are done. So back to the story map, and let's go over to the full tree. Now we can see that the story is marked as done, the story is marked as done, and these 2 are marked as in progress. So you can see whatever happens with our stories on the team board is automatically synchronized with the story map. Now just looking at the story map, we can now see how our progress aligns on various parameters. So for example, let's look at the green tag, release 1. We can see in our green tag 2 are done, 2 are in progress. Or let's look at our market risk stories. So looking at our story map, we can see our market risk story is in progress. What about our differentiator stories? So that's our differentiator tag over there, and we can see differentiator stories not even been allocated. So maybe we want to do a differentiator story in release 2. That might make sense, or at least release 3. So I'm gonna send this over to our team board, and I'm gonna say do this in release 3. And you can look here at the top level headings. So on our website we've got a whole bunch of stories to do, and we're 16% done on that. On the home page we've decided on doing 2 stories, 1 is done out of 2, so our home page is 50% done. If you look at search, we've implemented 1 type of search out of 3, so it's 33% done. And the e-commerce part of it, we've still not done any story complete as of yet. After we complete release 2, we can come back and see how are we doing on different parts of our product. How is our website part doing? How is our e-commerce part doing in terms of functionality? How is our analytics part doing? All that you can quickly and easily see with these percentages which are rolled up. So if you use tools for agile.com, the synchronization is automatic. You just select it, it gets copied over to the team board. The team board executes it using either Scrum or Kanban, and the status is put back on the story map. But if you're using a physical board for execution and you're using tools for agile.com only for story mapping, then well, you can do that too. The beauty of the whole thing is now you can just look at the visualization on the story map. How much information does it give you? You can see different parts, how much percent they're done. You can look at your different releases, how are we doing on that front. You can look at our market strategy, our differentiators, our basic features, how are we doing on those. You can look at it from a risk point of view, our market risk stories, our technical risk stories, how many of those have we answered. All the answers are available in this little story. In these 3 videos, we've shown you how you can use toolsforagile.com to create story maps, to do release planning, to execute stories, and track it back on your story map. So I hope you enjoyed this whole series, and thanks for watching.